Ever stumble upon a place that just feels, well, different?
Yeah.
Like it's whispering stories you can almost hear.
Oh, absolutely.
Today, we're plunging into one of those really captivating spots, Enchanted Rock State Natural Area right here in the heart of Texas.
It truly is a place that resonates. I mean, it's more than just a striking landmark, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a living textbook of geological history with all these layers of tales etched right into its pink surface, just waiting to be uncovered.
Exactly. Picture this colossal dome of like rose-tinted granite rising up dramatically from the rolling Texas hill country.
It's stunning.
It's visually stunning. It has this almost magnetic presence, and it's been drawing people in for millennia. So we're going to explore the incredible journey of how this iconic rock formation came to be.
Right.
We'll uncover its most remarkable features and share some of the fascinating stories it holds. And for those of you who, like us, are eager to learn without getting totally lost in the weeds, we've tried to distill the essential info from our sources into something really engaging, hopefully packed with those satisfying aha moments.
Yeah, our goal is really to give you a rich understanding of Enchanted Rock. We're drawing on geological insights, historical accounts, and, the knowledge of people who know it best.
Right.
We want to convey just what makes this place so unique and why it continues to inspire such awe.
Okay, so this giant pink rock,
Mm-hmm.
how does something like that even form? My first thought might drift towards, I don't know, some dramatic celestial event.
Yeah, calm thought.
But the reality, I understand, is far more grounded and, frankly, more mind-blowing.
Absolutely. Forget the meteorite idea. Enchanted Rock is just a profound illustration of the Earth's deep processes, stuff unfolding across unimaginable stretches of time.
Good.
So about 1 billion years ago, miles beneath the surface, you had this massive upwelling of molten rock, what geologists call a batholith, slowly pushing its way into the existing bedrock.
A batholith.
Okay.
This particular one is known as the Town Mountain Granite. Think of it like a gigantic blob of liquid hot rock, just gradually rising.
1 billion years. It's almost impossible to wrap your head around that kind of timescale.
It really is.
So this incredibly hot liquid rock just cooled down, solidified.
Precisely.
Mm.
But over countless millennia, this immense mass of magma cooled incredibly slowly, which allowed large crystals to form. Eventually, it hardened into the granite we see today.
Granite.
And granite, that fundamental igneous rock, meaning it came from cooled molten stuff, is composed mainly of quartz, mica, and that key ingredient, potassium feldspar.
Potassium feldspar. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Because isn't that the secret behind that gorgeous pink color?
You've got it. The significant amount of potassium feldspar within the Town Mountain granite is exactly what gives Enchanted Rock its signature rosy hue. Makes it so visually distinctive.
Yeah. But the story doesn't end there with just solidified magma. What we see today, this prominent dome, it's just the exposed peak of a much larger underground formation.
Right.
It's what we call a monadnock. Imagine a solitary mountain that's basically resisted the erosion that wore away all the surrounding less resistant rock.
So the potential for pink was always there, deep down, but the rest of the landscape around it essentially disappeared over eons.
Wow.
That's the essence of it. Over vast geological epochs, the softer sedimentary rocks that once covered the granite, things like the Cretaceous Edwards limestone you find a bit south, they were gradually broken down and carried away by erosion. This relentless process eventually revealed the much harder granite and the dome shape itself. That's a fascinating result of a process called exfoliation.
Exfoliation. You know, that sounds like something you do for your skin. Is it kind of a similar idea?
That's actually a surprisingly good comparison. Think of an onion, right? And its many layers.
After the immense weight of the overlying rock and soil was removed by erosion, the granite, now under much less pressure, expanded just slightly. This subtle expansion caused it to fracture and split into these large curved sheets that, over time, peel away much like layers of an onion. That's what creates that smooth, rounded dome we see.
Wow, a billion-year-old bubble of pink rock slowly shedding its layers.
Yeah.
That really shifts your perspective when you look at it.
It does.
Now, if someone wanted to see this geological marvel firsthand, where exactly would they find it in Texas?
Enchanted Rock is nestled right in the heart of the Texas Hill Country. It's about 17 miles north of Fredericksburg and maybe 24 miles south of Llano.
Okay.
Interestingly, it sits right on the boundary between Gillespie and Llano counties. just south of the Llano River.
So it's in a really beautiful region, and while it feels kind of remote, it's still reachable from some nice Texas towns.
Definitely.
What about its scale? We see pictures, and it looks massive, but what are the actual dimensions we're talking about?
Well, the main granite dome itself covers roughly 640 acres, and it rises about 425 feet above the surrounding land.
425 feet. Okay.
Its summit hits an elevation of 1,825 feet above sea level, and it is the largest single pink granite monadnock in the entire U.S.
The largest. Wow. And the park area itself?
The state natural area that protects the rock and the land around it initially covered about 1,644 acres.
Initially being a key word there, right? Because I think I saw some news about some pretty big recent expansions.
Precisely. Yeah, Enchanted Rock State Natural Area has recently undergone really remarkable growth. It's more than doubled its size.
Doubled.
Yeah. In August 2024, 630 acres were added. Then a huge acquisition of 3,073 acres in January 2025, all thanks to the Centennial Parks Conservation Fund.
That's fantastic news.
It really reflects the increasing popularity and, the importance of preserving Texas's natural heritage.
That's incredible. So what does this mean for those of us eager to explore? Just even more space to discover.
Absolutely. These new areas, they're expected to open for public access in the future. There's even a possibility of including hunting in some designated sections this fall. And there are exciting plans for new trails, new campgrounds, though that'll involve a whole planning process, with public feedback.
Right, makes sense.
But it's a truly significant development for conservation and outdoor recreation in Texas.
Definitely something to look forward to. Now, Enchanted Rock isn't just any big rock. It's recognized, right? It has some serious official recognition.
It certainly does. Enchanted Rock has a rich history of formal recognition. It was designated a recorded Texas historic landmark way back in 1936.
Oh, very good.
Then a National Natural Landmark in 1971. And the Enchanted Rock Archaeological District was added to the U.S. National Register of Historic Places in 1984.
Yeah.
These designations really underscore its profound historical, natural, and archaeological significance.
So it's been seen as something special for a very long time, and it's still a huge draw, judging by the visitor numbers.
Absolutely. In 2017, it was even named the best campsite in Texas in a statewide survey.
Really?
Yeah. And in 2022, it welcomed an astounding 307,686 visitors. Its popularity is just undeniable.
Which brings us to a really crucial piece of advice for anyone planning a trip, doesn't it? I remember reading something about reservations being pretty important.
Yes, absolutely crucial. Given its immense popularity, especially on those beautiful weather weekends, it is highly recommended, often essential, to reserve day passes well in advance.
Okay.
If you show up after, say, 9 a.m. on a busy weekend, there's a very strong chance the park gates will be closed. They hit capacity quickly.
Right.
So proactive planning is absolutely key to ensuring you actually get to experience the magic of Enchanted Rock.
Excellent tip. Now, beyond just, looking at it, what activities can you actually do at Enchanted Rock? Hiking is major, I assume.
Hiking is definitely a primary attraction. There are nearly 11 miles of diverse trails to explore, including, of course, the iconic Summit Trail.
Right, the one to the top.
That rewards you with those just breathtaking panoramic views of the hill country.
And for those with a taste for adventure, maybe a little more vertical, there's climbing, right? I've heard it's almost a Texas rite of passage.
That's a very apt description.
Yeah.
Yeah, climbing Enchanted Rock is a deeply ingrained activity, a cherished tradition for many Texans. You'll find all sorts of climbing routes, catering to a wide range of skill levels. And for those new to it, or wanting guidance, local outfitters like Rock About Climbing Adventures offer great guided climbs and lessons.
Good to know.
Of course, safety is paramount. Essential gear helmet, climbing shoes, harness is a must. And always check the weather forecast before you head out.
Makes sense.
Climbing and bouldering are permitted, but you do need to check in at the park headquarters first.
Safety first, always. Now, for those of us who prefer our adventures maybe a little closer to the ground, what other experiences does Enchanted Rock offer?
Well, if you enjoy looking up instead of down, Enchanted Rock holds the prestigious designation of an International Dark Sky Park.
Oh, cool.
Which makes it an absolutely exceptional location for stargazing. The minimal light pollution provides truly spectacular views of the night sky. The park even hosts organized star parties sometimes.
That sounds genuinely enchanting. What about wildlife? Any interesting critters we might see?
Well, Enchanted Rock might not be primarily known as, say, a major birding hotspot like some coastal areas,
Sure.
but it does offer interesting opportunities, especially for folks who enjoy county listing, since the park straddles that county line.
Right. Gillespie and Llano.
Exactly. So you might spot species like the agile rock wren, the melodic canyon wren, the secretive canyon towhee, or the striking black-throated sparrow.
Where's best to look?
The most promising areas tend to be along Sandy Creek, within Echo Canyon, and maybe on the less traveled backside of Enchanted Rock, especially early in the morning when bird activity is usually highest.
Good pointers. So it's not just a magnificent rock, it's a whole ecosystem with its own wonders. Which leads us to the really captivating part, the fascinating facts and the stories that have grown up around this place.
Aha.
I know there's some pretty deep legends associated with it.
Indeed.
Hmm.
The name itself, right? Enchanted Rock. It hints at this rich tapestry of myths and legends woven around the landmark for centuries.
Yeah.
Its unique, imposing presence has just imbued it with this palpable sense of the magical, mystical, enchanted. It's drawn people for thousands of years and inspired a ton of captivating stories.
I find that so compelling, a landscape that just sparks the imagination across generations. What about the more scientific stories, the ongoing geological processes still shaping the rock?
Oh, those are equally fascinating. Enchanted Rock is constantly being sculpted by weathering. We talked about the mechanical weathering of exfoliation.
The onion layers.
But temperature changes also play a big role. The rock heats up, cools down, expands, contracts that can cause cracks over time.
Uh-huh.
And water is critical. When water seeps into cracks and freezes, it expands frost, wedging, exerting huge pressure, breaking the rock down further. Even how rainwater interacts with the surface matters. The undersides of some formations hold moisture longer, so the slightly acidic rainwater has more time to erode those areas, creating those curved underhangs you sometimes see.
So it's this continuous, almost imperceptible cycle of breakdown and reshaping.
Yeah.
What about, like, chemical changes?
Chemical weathering is also happening, though it's generally slower in granite compared to, say, limestone.
Okay.
Hydration water molecules interacting with minerals can turn feldspar into clay, weakening the rock. And oxidation iron-bearing minerals reacting with oxygen contributes to the surface appearance and the reddish-tan color of the surrounding soils, called saprolite.
Saprolite. Interesting term.
Yeah, and it's a real contrast to the wider hill country where limestone dominates, which weathers much faster in wet climates.
And even living things get involved, right? Biological weathering.
Exactly. Lichens and algae growing on the rock secrete weak acids that slowly dissolve minerals. And plant roots getting into cracks. They can exert amazing pressure, widening fissures, breaking the rock apart over time.
It's truly remarkable to think about all these forces operating over such immense time scales, creating what we see today. Someone even poetically called it a spooky spectacle.
That's a wonderfully evocative description, isn't it? It perfectly captures both its ancient geological origins and that almost ethereal air of mystery from the legends. It feels timeless and, yeah, maybe slightly otherworldly.
It really does have that feel, and it's good to know there are people working to protect it. I saw a mention of the Friends of Enchanted Rock.
Yes, the Friends of Enchanted Rock is a fantastic nonprofit. They play an indispensable role supporting the park's needs. They raise funds, host events, like the Granite Gripper climbing competition, which is actually one of the oldest and most respected climbing comps in the U.S., all to boost conservation and make sure the park remains a treasure for future generations.
That's so vital, having those dedicated groups. It really sounds like Enchanted Rock has had a profound impact on people, not just physically or scientifically, but maybe even spiritually.
Absolutely. For countless visitors over centuries, Enchanted Rock has held deep spiritual significance. It's a place where people connect with nature, find some peace and quiet for contemplation, and are just moved by its sheer presence and beauty.
And zooming out a bit, geologically speaking, how does Enchanted Rock fit into the bigger picture of Texas geology?
Well, Enchanted Rock sits within the Llano Uplift, also known as the Central Mineral Region. This area is super interesting geologically because it exposes some of the oldest rocks in the entire state right at the surface.
Oldest rocks in Texas.
Yeah, the result of millions of years of geological uplift and then erosion removing the younger stuff on top. It gives us this incredible window into the Precambrian history of the region.
Fascinating. So beyond the thrill of climbing, what other activities can you enjoy there? It really seems to offer a lot for different interests.
It truly does. Besides hiking and climbing, you can do backpacking and camping. Imagine camping under those dark skies.
Yeah.
Enjoy a picnic really study the unique nature and geology up close, or even try geocaching. And like we said, stargazing and birding are popular too.
Photography must be great there.
Oh, fantastic. Endless opportunities for scenic shots and capturing the unique plants. Just remember, though no swimming and no biking on the trails.
Good things to know when you're planning. Now, you've mentioned the Texas Hill Country a few times. Can you paint a quick picture of that surrounding region?
Sure. The Texas Hill Country is just a beautiful region. Rolling hills, lots of sparkling streams and rivers, and the Edwards Plateau, which is famous for its caves, and the vital Edwards Aquifer.
Right?
The area has diverse wildlife, deer, bobcats, tons of migratory songbirds, and it also has a really interesting cultural history, especially the German settlements in towns like Fredericksburg. That's unique charm.
And during geology too, right? Compared to the rock itself.
Exactly. While Enchanted Rock is at ancient Precambrian granite, a lot of the wine country around Fredericksburg sits on younger Cretaceous limestone. Different foundations, different landscapes.
So a trip to Enchanted Rock isn't just about seeing this ancient Texas landmark, but it also puts you right in a region brimming with its own distinct charm and geological story. Sounds like a truly special destination.
It is indeed. Enchanted Rock really stands as this powerful testament to immense geological forces acting over billions of years. Its unique pink granite, that striking exfoliation dome shape, the diverse life it supports, and the rich tapestry of human stories and legends intertwined with it. It all comes together to create a truly remarkable natural landmark.
Absolutely. It's a place that sparks curiosity, definitely encourages exploration, and leaves you with a real sense of wonder. Considering the unfathomable geological time involved in its creation and the countless stories it silently holds, it makes you think, what other secrets might this enchanted rock reveal to future generations? Perhaps now is the perfect time for you, our listener, to maybe plan your own visit, experience its unique magic firsthand, and delve even deeper into its many fascinating facets.